First its baleful voice they heard, a groan within the windy woods, a long and low and loathing moan that chilled them more than mountain wind. Then in their fear they fled the woods, back to the valley ran for dread. There they shut themselves away within their newly timbered hall, and put a bar upon the doors. Night descended, silent, swift, upon the frozen valley floor, while down they lay to seek their sleep, and wrapped themselves tight in their cloaks. But fitful was their sleep that night, when, in each whistling of the wind, around the high and heaving hall, they thought they heard that dreadful moan. Then high above, below the peaks, from out a callous cavern cold, whose mouth a black unmoving maw sat still and silent in the night, again there came the dreadful groan. Then in the noiseless night within, it gave a gaping hungry yawn, whose stench was as the battle's end of rotting flesh of warriors slain. Its icy head raised from the ground, it shook the snow from off its crown, and bellowing bold towards the light. Then in the open air its throat it filled up full with frozen air, and roared relentless wrath and rage that ripped through rock and pinewood thick down to the peaceful vale below. Now in the hall they trembled pale, though faint the echo, close they felt the presence of the awful thing. Breathing heavy up above, the giant Hrangnar gnawed the air. With nostrils long he sniffed the scent of burning wood upon the breeze, and to his hoary ears the hearts of breathing beating men below were upward borne beyond their home. His crusted mouth, unkempt moustache of splintered ice and snow concealed, now wet with thoughts of warmest blood, he licked with white and warty tongue. As if a man he seemed to stand, then thrice that of the tallest youth was Hrangnar in his giant height. So too the eyes fixed on the veil were white, without their pupils drawn, and long his hair an avalanche was gritty woven with the shale. Again he bellowed, bounded, pounded snow beneath his weathered soles, as crashing through the rocks and trees down to the dale in dark he came. Hragnar's bellows split the beams of wood within the timbered hall, as all closed up in abject fear, while some sought for the tools to fight. Now Hrangnar was already near, towering tall above the gates, with muscles pale as bold as broad. He wrenched apart the portal's pine, as lightly as they were but leaves. With this he crashed into the hall, into their midst all terror struck. Some braver sought to stay him then, but as they ran towards him, tossed, he cast them light as twigs aside. Some sought to flee, but these he trapped to crush them close in gaping jaws. When warrior, woman, none was spared. All was carnage, none could cry for help, for none could face the thing, and soon as come was Hrangnar gone, returning red or run with blood, up to his den, his mountain home.